before you had the tumor, like, were there like negative events going on in your life? Were you under a lot of stress, or like how did this, like, what's your hypothesis or your intuitive feeling of how you actually got the tumor? Because is cancer something that runs in your family?
No, and brain cancer is not, it hasn't been proven to be hereditary at all. I just, I thought about it a lot.
I'm sure you've thought about it deeply.
And I got to a point where I'm never going to know.
Yeah.
Unless
like science advances or something.
There's some kind of technology of figuring out when it started and why it started. But, I really couldn't do it because it just damaged me.
Yeah. It's not going to help anything, right?
But in saying that, I've definitely given it thought. So, I had a car accident when I was 18, and it was a real bad car accident, and it was head trauma.
Ooh.
I drove out in front of someone who didn't have his lights on, and there's a 100k zone. So hit me right in the door.
Oh, like on your side?
Yeah.
Wow.
So drove out, and the car just was spinning in the air. I remember flashes of like the steering wheel disintegrating on the tar seal, just this massive loud sound with metal and sparks.
You were still conscious?
Oh, well, I was flashes of consciousness.
Okay.
And then I woke up. This could be the whole subject by itself. But my girlfriend at the time, she was with me. She flew out the passenger door. Everything just ripped off. The seatbelt ripped off. The car would just.
So this guy was going 100 k's, and how fast were you going?
I was just pulling out of the.
Oh, just into the street.
The side street.
Oh.
So it hits my door. And then, my girlfriend's on in the car. Car's spinning, like tumbling down the road. And I was in this little little panel van. It's like a little Ford Escort van, but it was a Morris Marina van. And this girl was just sitting in the back, no seatbelt or anything. So she just stuck to the...
She just went boom.
Oh, no, she was in the back. She just stuck to the side of the car,
because she's spinning around.
Spinning around,
yeah,
so she just stuck to the side, right?
It's like one of those, when you go to the, the fair or the carnival, and there's that, you go in that room and you go around and around.
Yeah, you just stick to the...
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it? I can't remember what it's called now.
Yeah.
But, it's...
What's the car? Oh, I want to see the car. Ford.
No, it's a Morris Marina.
Oh, Morris. How do you spell that?
Marina.
Oh yeah, van.
I think.
Is that it?
Yeah, like that top
like
blue
that?
one.
Oh, that
but
blue.
it was white.
Oh, yeah, that don't look too safe, man.
Yeah, and so, I'll show you the aftermath of it later on.
You got okay, because I'll put the photos up, like when I edit it, like it'll be you and then a little square of like what's happened.
So ended up upside down, two girls screaming for their lives, right?
Oh, you had two girls in a van.
Like the girl in the back.
Oh, there was two girls. Oh.
My girlfriend and her friend.
Oh yeah.
Your girlfriend flies out the passenger door, and
the other ones that are
smashing around on the metal.
Oh damn!
Wasn't nice and like carpeted and with neon lights like I wanted it. But yeah, it's I was upside down and had the seatbelt that had stuck me in the chair. Right, so I was upside down and I couldn't get out. Because, if you pull on the seatbelt hard, obviously you can't.
Because there's like pressure, like there's weight on it.
And so there was like a hand space between the door and the gear stick. That's how much it was pushed in.
Whoa.
Right, so the car just hits me in my door. Boom.
And you're like squashed.
I'm ripped. Right, my leg is facing the opposite direction.
Oh.
Right, so left the it was a neck of femur break. Right, so the ball and socket stayed in the hip, but the femur snapped off just below the ball and socket and did a 180. Right, lacerated liver and spleen, collapsed lungs, torn eyelid. So even when I was closing my eyes, I could still see out of my right eye. And here I am waking up and not being able to breathe because the seatbelt was crushing me.
Ooh.
So I was upside down, blood going everywhere, my girlfriend screaming for her life, and this other girl was screaming, and I'm just laying there, and the only noise I'm making is right.
That's crazy,
man. And it's nighttime, and so all that was all I could see was like car lights, coming through that have cars that have stopped, and I'm dying because I can't breathe.
Yeah, man.
And I'm trying to pop the seatbelt, but I can't do it. If I was big back then, man. I was 18. I was over 110 kilos, so like 240 pounds, whatever.
Lean.
Not that lean, just
big guy.
Just wanted to be big.
Yeah.
Bullying and family life and trying to impress people and thinking I'm dumb and all the rest of the stuff, and it's like the only thing I can control.
You want to build up that.
Just to be massive. So I'm this big dude stuck in this little car that's just been completely sandwiched, and I'm like, I can't pop the seatbelt,
Yeah.
And the pain didn't mean anything. Like if you're drowning, you don't care if your mate's got a nicer car than you.
Yeah, you just like.
You don't care if your neighbor is got a real nice house, and you don't.
That shit.
You don't care if your girlfriend, you think your girlfriend's cheating on you. You don't care about anything. You only care about breathing.
Is that like
Maslow's hierarchy of needs?
Oh yes, there's that. That's the pyramid thing, right?
Yeah. It's like the very essential thing.
I actually just saw that literally like the other day. I was like looking up books and stuff about like psychology, but like when I nearly died from a overdose, and like I went through this thought process of pretty much going through Maslow's hierarchy of needs from the bullshit to the actual shit I need to focus on to stay alive, and that's all I thought about.
Yeah,
like, it was like within 10 seconds I just like real quick. Like, were you in a state of just like extreme mental acuity and focus on that?
That. The only thing that you can think about, like my leg had done a 180, had broken off. I had lacerated liver and spleen. My eyelid was cut open. But all I want to do is pop that seatbelt, just so I can breathe. All right, I've got collapsed lungs. All right, they're crushing me. So I'm trying to pop it, and I'm just laying there, all this blood coming, through my face. And then I just heard this loud bang, and I've gone to this well.
What?
Right? So I've gone to this concrete well, and I'm falling down this concrete well.
Like, in your imagination? Or
Yeah. Well, I just got transported into this well, right? And I'm falling down this well.
So you're like struggling, trying to pop the seatbelt, and like, are you conscious or you're unconscious when you're in this well? Like,
I don't know.
You don't know.
Yeah. All I know is that I got transported into this well, and there was no pain, but I could still feel on my thumb the seatbelt, right, to pop the seatbelt open. So I'm falling down this well, and I hear this like, you know, on a as a kid you're on a skateboard and you're going down a hill.
Oh, it's
like on the bits of the
on the creases in the sidewalk.
Yeah,
creases. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, but like the cuts and the concrete on the
Yeah,
sidewalk.
yeah.
So that was that noise, but a real, and I guess it was my heartbeat, because it was slowing down and going, and I was trying to touch the bricks that were going on the well, but I couldn't touch them. You know, my arms and legs couldn't touch the sides of the well, and as I was going down this well, it was getting darker and darker and darker, and then there was no noise, but I was still falling, getting sucked down. Not just falling, but it was actually pulling me down. And then and I think, fuck, I'm dying or I'm dead. And I was like, man, I'm 18 years old and I'm dead. And it's just like, this kind of acceptance comes over me and it's like, damn it. Okay. And then I think, fuck. Maybe just one more time, one more push. I can still feel this thing on my thumb, right? It's just one more push, man. Come on, do it. And I'm like, come on. I'm like fucking bumming myself. Just do it. And I push. Nah. And fuck. It's like, that's it. Fucking.
I thought you were going to get it.
Yeah. And I was like, fuck. That's it. And it's like, oh, one more.
Another one.
So I pushed it.
DJ Khaled, another one.
And it's complete blackness. And I can't see anything, but I can still feel the seatbelt button. And I push. And then I just float in this well. And then all of a sudden, it's like I'm getting vacuumed up. And it's sucking me right up out of this well. And it's like, then I hear this. And then I see the bricks in the well, and it's like, and it's like, oh, and then I land on the top of the car, right? Because the car's upside down.
Yeah.
And I just let out the scream, and then I'm laying there and I'm unconscious, shit. And then I wake up to the jaws of life. You know, the fire brigade bring the jaws of life to cut open the car.
Oh, yeah, those massive...
and I hear this, you know, because it's fucking loud once it's because it's all twisted metal.
Yeah.
And it just... And, fire brigade pulls me out. And I'm like, fuck you, I'm trying to drag myself, right, out of the car. And they go, no, just stay there, because you could have a head injury and that sort of stuff. Could have a neck injury. And I was like, I'm literally dragging myself across broken glass.
Oof.
Right? I'm just shredding myself, trying to get out. And people are trying to stop me. And I'm like, if you're stuck in the car upside down and you couldn't breathe, you need to get out of that, man. So then I pass out again while I'm half out of the car. And I wake up in the back of an ambulance. And then I look across to my girlfriend, and she's across, and she's got blood all over her. And I'm looking across to her, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. She goes, it wasn't your fault. And it's like just holding hands with her, and it's like, oh man, because you see the girl you love, and she's got blood all over her, and you're messed up. And I was like, man, you've got. I said to the ambulance officer, you got to give me something, man. You got to.
Give me some drugs, bro.
I need to go to sleep, man. And it's like, no, we can't put you to sleep, man. Because you might not wake up.
Oh.
You know, so it's like so much pain, man. Because it's like when you twist the leg 180, the skin rips.
Oh, dude.
You know, so I've got these ripping lacerations. You know, you can imagine these cuts that have just.
Because the meat would have been...
Yeah.
Oh, bro, that's crazy.
So I've got had all these tears, and obviously lacerated liver and spleen, and collapsed lungs. I'm trying to breathe, and this, like the little 5% that I've got.
Yeah.
Fucking panicking. Look at the girl's fucking full of, got blood all over her. Don't know if the other girl's still alive or not. And this fucking fuck, it's just a mess.
Wow, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, so
I have no idea you went through something like that. That's fucking intense.
8th of May. I treat the 8th of May like another birthday. All right, so born on November 22nd, but 8th of May is the car accident.
When you is that like, is there more to that story, or is it just like recovery after that?
Well, I mean, that's, people think like that's the day and that's how it happened, but what you go through in hospital after that,
how long was the process to just become functional again?
I've still got hip pain, especially after like being on my back for almost a year from cancer, and then you start trying to walk in or go up and down stairs, and then you realize your hip's even more fucked because it's disintegrated. And so I still have pain. I'm coming up to 48 now.
But you haven't had any replacements or anything?
No, but I had a what they called a Richard screw and plate. Google Richard screw and plate.
Because I heard the Undertaker talking about his hip replacements, and apparently they got some real good technology now.
Yeah, but
what was it called?
Richard's screw and plate. And so
screw and plate images. Oh, like that.
Yeah, so that one there. So that one goes into the ball.
Yeah.
The ball socket. So they drill right through there.
Oof.
And then that one goes down the femur, and then all the screws go in.
You still have this?
No, I got it taken out. But I've got it in my office. I show people.
Oh, I gotta see that.
Surgical stainless steel, man.
I'll take a photo of that, man. That's
they
crazy.
They weren't gonna let me keep it. It was about 4 or 5 years after the accident, and I said I want it out. I want it out of me because it's causing me pain.
Yeah.
But it wasn't causing me pain. I just needed it out of me.
You had the feeling that you wanted.
Yeah, I just fucking needed it. I needed to not have that with me.
Was that kind of like psychologically letting go of that incident?
Yeah.
Like your closure on it?
Yeah, I just needed it out, man. I wanted to let that go because it's supposed to stay with you for the rest of your life, right?
Yeah.
It's there.
And when they took it out, like, did you have to go through another process of rehab or something? Or
yeah, a bit, but it was it's cut twice. Let's write down the same line. Hang on.
But yeah, it's. Maybe. Yeah. Let me get this shit on camera.
Didn't see that right.
Yeah,
it's pretty faded now.
Yeah, but that's still pretty intense, man.
Yeah.
That's a big scar. And that's from like years ago.
Yeah. Most times it's like real big and purple, and you can see like that's healed really well.
Yeah, it has healed.
I was
expecting like, from like your explanation of the story, I was thinking like a fucking piece of art on your leg or something.
Yeah. But like the surgeon, he saw it and he was like, wow, that's you can tell, you can't hardly even tell you got cut open. And so yeah, it was I was rubbing rosehip on it every day with rosehip.
Oh, yeah. That's what I got on my
rosehip oil. Yeah, doing little circles on the scar, breaking it down.
Yeah, that's I don't know if that's in those oils for like stretch marks and stuff.
Yeah.
But my wife used to, like, when she was pregnant, she'd rub that stuff every day.
Yeah.
Like every day she would do it, and she doesn't have any stretch marks. The only mark she has is on, girls have they get a belly button piercing and they have that little bit of skin. It's just like underneath that, because I guess you didn't oil up that, but you know, like that's the proof it works, or it helps in a significant way.
But when I spoke to the surgeon when I was getting it out, I was talking like, oh yeah, it'd be good to show other people. And he goes, oh, you know, you won't keep it. You won't. We reuse them because they're quite expensive.
Oh, true.
And I was just like, what?
Did you have to buy it?
And I was just like, what the hell? Because it was part of my plan, right?
Yeah.
Because I needed to be able to revisit it. I needed to be able to look at it. You know, I knew what I needed to be able to get over this. And when they told me that my whole plan was broken, then I was just like, what the hell? And so it was like, the surgeon was like, let me see what I can do. And I was like, okay. Because I was about to go into surgery. And I was just like, they're going to take it away.
Oh, true, yeah.
And do I get, I would need to be able to say goodbye to it. You know, because it's such an emotional thing. You know, my legs snapped off and turned 180. It ripped my skin. This is a whole journey. And part of that journey and healing it was to be able to have this thing in my hand and know my hip is healed. And, you know, that, this other surgeon, after the accident, or like about a week after the accident, said, you get about 60% recovery rate in that hip. You'll probably need to use a walking stick like for the rest of my life, because you've got so much damage in there that, you know, you'll probably need an aid to walk.
So how did you?
And when you're 18, right, and you're like,
crazy,
that you might need to, you might need to have you'll probably need to have a walking stick at least.
You'll have to be an old man at 19.
It's like, what the hell? My whole sense of confidence, right? Everything came from my ability to fight and my ability to lift heavy things, because I was told I was stupid all my childhood, right? And, you know, my first wish is to be brainy, and because I knew I was dumb, at least that's what I thought, right?
Yeah. And
so I got that taken away from me in an instant.
The only thing that could overcome why you weren't smart is, like, now you're not capable of doing that.
Yeah. So, you know, well, after the surgery, the doctor, the surgeon came in with this brown paper bag, and he goes, I purposely damaged it, so we couldn't use it.
Oh, that's cool.
And I was like, oh, thank you so much. He goes, I saw how much it meant to you. And he goes, I had to do something. Cause,
what a good dude.
Yeah, what a
good dude, man.
Yeah. And I was like, thank you so much.
Do you know this guy?
Nah, I mean, I was 18.
Yeah, true.
You know?
You're 18, you're like, fuck on. Get out of here, bro.
Yeah, I just need it. So, you know, it's still in the same plastic bag, you know, and it's...
if you can, I'd like you to send me a photo of it, but I want to come and get a photo of it in person.
But the strange thing is, man, when I left hospital, I had that screw plate, that Richard screw plate, and I put it in my right pocket, right next to where it was. And I didn't take it out of. I take it out when I'd have a shower.
How big is this? If you can fit in your pocket. Oh, okay. You had a big ass pocket.
I know, but you know, it's in a plastic bag.
Oh yeah.
And you know, you could push it down your pocket, right?
Yeah.
And it was, you know, it was just about the length of a pocket, I guess. And I couldn't not go out with it. You know, I was like, it has to be in my pocket. I couldn't let it go yet. It's strange, right? People are like, what the hell, man?
Bro, where you bring this middle, bro? It's my weapon, bro. I'll fuck people up.
So I was like, okay. I just had to keep it in my pocket. There was a emotional attachment to it in a sense where I couldn't quite let it go yet. And I just all that emotion I put into like a physical thing.
How long did that take to like?
I gradually kind of stopped taking it with me, and
were
for about like 2 months or something.
And were you going around with a walking stick or?
Yeah.
You how long like how did you?
No. I was a little bit after that.
Yeah.
But I got rid of. I was on 2 walkings. I was on what are they called?
Wheelchairs.
No, I was in a wheelchair initially.
Yeah.
Then I was on. Sorry, because my brain gym, I lose words. On what are they called? Crutches.
Oh, crutches. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I might have a brain tumor.
Oh, great, man! That's why we're such good friends. So yeah, I was on 2 crutches, and then I got down to 1 crutch, and then there was another thing that I was attached to, right? Because I was
the crutches.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Because I needed to tell people that I was broken, right? I lived in Manarewa, and I go to South Mall, and it's pretty rough.
Oh yeah, dude.
Right. So I needed to be able, and I worked at a gym in South Mall, just across from South Mall. It's not there anymore, but I needed that 1 crutch because I needed to tell the world that I was broken and please don't hurt me because I'm disabled.
It's not a fair fight. Please don't fuck. Yeah.
And through my life and rehabbing people and being in the health fitness industry and the rehabilitation industry, a lot of people are like that. They don't want to. They want to stay in their wheelchair. They want to stay in their crutches. They want to stay in their frame.
Wow.
Right,
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I wouldn't know unless you.
Yeah.
And so that, and it's a crutch. That's the
yeah. It's like it becomes part of their identity. Like they've acted in this way for so long. It's like they become a victim to the identity.
Yeah.
Is that a good way to put it?
And it becomes an extension of yourself, right? You don't want to say goodbye to it, and that screw and bolt was an extension of myself. And when they were going to take it out of me, then they're not going to put it into somebody else. Maybe if I died and they could, it'd be nice for them to use it, but it became part of my body. So to give it away to somebody else, it's terrible. It was far worse them giving it to somebody else than just throwing it in the bin.
Yeah, I understand.
Because I'm still alive and someone's walking around with something that
it's like
I've got an attachment to.
It's like you break up with your wife and just fucking another guy.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on here?
And that guy's wearing your shoes or something. But yeah, that surgeon giving me that plate. It's like, oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, if that surgeon's listening right now, bro, just hit me up and I'll link you up with Levi.
I'll buy you lunch and we'll have a chat.
Yeah.
But there's I finally got rid of my last crutch, and that was a big step, and it was way too late because I didn't need it.
Yeah. So so you're 18, right? When it's removed, you're on crutches now, and how long?
It was about a year. And I could have got rid of the crutch months.
So it took a year for you to get rid of it. But what was the actual time and months that you could have physically got rid of it?
I wasn't allowed to touch my foot on the ground for 6 months. That's how delicate it was, right? So I had no touch 6 months. So that's like can't even place your foot on the floor. So after 6 months, then I could walk with crutches and just help myself walk, and place my foot on the ground. And then a couple of months later, I was like, okay, 1 crutch, and then I was just like, oh, I think I'm becoming dependent on this. I have to be able to tell people because, I'd cycle up to Southmore, which is about 2 kilometers away from where I lived. And I'd have the crutch in my backpack sticking out. So I'd lock up my bike because I could push with my left leg and pull, and then my right leg would just move around.
Yeah.
But yeah, just power through with my left leg while I was cycling, and then use my crutch from there on in. And it's like, maybe I can let go of the crutch, but that took a lot, man. And
yeah, but I totally understand. Like, I'm guessing Rewa would have been even worse back then.
Yeah.
Like, even like when I was in school, there was a lot of crazy stories about stuff that happened in Rewa High. Don't they have like gates and stuff around the school?
Yeah.
Now? And like
I went to James Cook. I went to so I was at St. Anne's Primary School. Then I went to De La Salle in Mangere.
De La Salle, I know De La Salle.
For a couple of years, got into too many fights. Wasn't really enjoying myself, so I pleaded with my parents to go to James Cook, which was real close by. But yeah, you get into a few fights in Southmore. But having crutches is it was kind of like the law, the unwritten law. You don't fucking beat someone up with crutches,
like just disabled in general. You don't fuck someone up who's disabled.
And because I'm a big white guy, people would think, oh, you can defend yourself. You're a big guy. It's like, yeah, but if you're a big white guy, you're a target, man.
Yeah, especially in Rewa.
Yeah, because you don't have the same network. You don't have like a big crew like other guys do. Like Polynesian guys have got big crews.
They got massive crews all the time. And
so I'd be walking. As a white guy, I'd be walking with my best mate. And if that mate at the time was Maori or Polynesian, sweet. But if it's a white guy, then
you need a crutch, bro. You need the crutch. You need that license. You need that license to walk through untouched.
Yeah.
So you've gone through all of this, and then so your intuition is telling you that because of that massive accident, like your head got knocked around enough to have some kind of like a residual
lesion or something,
like a lesion or something there, scar tissue that like didn't heal the way it should do, and it's come back in later life and affected you.
Yeah, maybe I guess maybe it could have been that.
But that's your best guess.
Yeah, I mean I was in the fight game for a little while, and
punched in the head.
But I was never knocked out or never concussed. I got concussed once.
What fight? When I was boxing or?
I did before it was known as MMA. Right, so it was
before it was known. What was it?
They called it Pride.
Oh yeah, because UFC is the brand, but
yeah.
Oh, they just did MMA, but in Pride, like mixed martial arts there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And
was that in New Zealand?
No, I traveled overseas. I did a lot of traveling.
Because they still talk about Pride.
Yeah.
I heard Joe Rogan talking about Pride and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is like right in the very beginning.
Yeah.
And I'm not good at fighting. I'm good at fighting
compared to the average person.
Yeah.
But
this is right in the beginning, and I love boxing and I love Muay Thai. I did Muay Thai when I was before my car accident. In Manerua, so I went to Southern Martial Arts Centre. But after my car accident, I didn't know what I could do. I was like, I can't kick the way I used to. But I'm good with my hands, and I had a strong wrestling background because I started.
Oh, that's really important. Yeah,
Olympic wrestling when I was 4. My dad was president of the wrestling association, and so.
Because is it your ethnic background's German, right?
A little bit German, French, German, English. But yeah, nothing.
So just a mix of like white dudes from Western Europe.
Yeah.
Because Ivo is a German name, right? Is it
Yeah, it can be. But it is quite an old-fashioned name as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it sounds German or Russian.
Yeah,
you know.
something like that. Yeah.
But I'd say evil.
Oh, okay.
Evil.
Yeah. Like Ivor.
Yeah.
In Russia. Yeah. Heard names like that before. Yeah.
But there's one related to my car accident. There's one story. That's. Well, basically, I started working at different gyms part time because I couldn't get a full time job.
Oh, sorry, I gotta change the battery. No, you can keep speaking.
Okay.
Carry on. I'll change this.
So I started working at the gym that I was doing rehab at, and I said, "Hey, I'm just gonna fill up the water bottle and vacuum and clean for nothing because I just want to get a foot in the door." So here I'm like still 18, vacuuming, cleaning toilets at this physio gym so people can.
Is this the one at Southgate or another gym?
No, it's gone now. It used to be called Healthwise, and it was in Southmore. And I just because I was going there for rehab, I was like, oh, can I start working here? Because it was a regular gym as well as it was like a center for high performance. It was
okay,
yeah, but
they had those back then.
Yeah, it was like the first one. So yeah, I say we. Sometimes I got multiple personalities.
Bronco,
Yeah.
Levi, Jason,
Yeah.
Fireman.
I honestly, I've been saying we since I was a kid. Like, yeah, we can do that, and just talk to myself.
Have you ever done? Sorry to cut you off, but have you ever done? Maybe not this one specifically, but I learned a lot about myself from this. What is this? 16 personality test.
Oh, you have done that.
You done that?
Yeah.
What are you? Oh, wait,
I can't remember.
Okay. Do you think you'd remember if I say the name?
I might do,
Okay.
but I've done it after, after my cancer diagnosis, so I forget things.
Okay. Let me name it because, like, when you said, "Oh, I've been saying we," and like a lot of the attributes that, because I've been like studying my own personality. And,
yeah.
Like they'll bring up, and whenever there's articles on my partner's personality, I'll read that too.
Yeah.
Or like what personalities mesh with me, etc., etc. And it's interesting because it's like the way I think about it in terms of like personality, it's like reality, like the world we live in, like it's kind of like the internet.
Yeah.
Right. And like every personality, in this case 16 personalities, is just it's a different web browser.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Everyone has a different web browser going through life, but they don't know it. So everyone thinks that we're using the same web browser. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when I'm like, hey, fuck, options, control, blah blah blah, you're like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? Like there's where misunderstandings happen.
Yeah.
Because we're on a different web browser. And when it's like, okay, with this, I'm like, oh, I have a different web browser. That's why I piss people off, like something like that. You know what I mean? Like people don't understand me because I got this web browser, and there's only 1.9% of the world that has this web browser. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm like thinking of those now, and I'm like learning about other people's web browsers, and I'm like, oh, so if I'm talking to this web browser, I gotta say things like this, the same essence or meaning of what I'm saying. I gotta change the semantics for this web browser, and now I gotta change it for this web browser, and not saying in a sense like to manipulate people, but I guess you could use it if, you know, that was your intent.
Yep.
But in order to have a better understanding of people, understand them better, and get them to understand you better, if that makes sense, you know what I mean? Because
when I was studying, I did a paper called I studied. You know, I did this. Started this degree.
What were you studying?
What's that?
What was the degree?
It was sports science and management, and and they just started it, and it was just all these different things they'd thrown together, and I was like, I did a communication paper. I was like, man, I don't need to know how to communicate. I know how to communicate. I'm a great communicator.
I know how to speak.
Yeah, I know how to communicate to people, man. I'm a great communicator. And it was like
you were saying this out of confidence or ignorance?
I kind of pissed off because I was like, I'm paying for a paper. Oh, I want to learn about sports.
Okay,
you know, I want to do exercise science. I want to biomechanics, you know, that sort of stuff. And there was these two, and and had to do marketing and management and human growth and development, you know, like learning from, you know, growing from a baby to an adult and that sort of stuff. I was like, I want to do this shit. There's 4 papers that I don't want to do. And those 4 papers were the best papers. The marketing, management, human growth and development was excellent, especially having a baby now. And I was so fascinated about human growth and development still are. But communication, I got about after I managed to lose my ego a little bit and started learning about communication, I found out just how powerful it was. And it's like, oh my God, this is fucking crazy. Methods of communication and, you know, how people respond and how you articulate yourself and what order you put things it's, you know, like saying to your girlfriend, you look angry. That's mostly going to make her angry. If she's a little bit angry and you say, oh, you look angry. Oh, fucking, I'm not angry. You're telling me now I'm angry because you said I was angry. If you say, hey, you look a bit unhappy, that's more caring. It's basically saying the same thing. You look unhappy.
So like guiding the direction of her emotions, or
well, you know, there's things that can aggravate people.
Sure.
Right, and if you say to someone you look angry and you're a bit angry, then that can make you more angry. But if you say you look unhappy, that comes across as saying I care about you.
Yeah. Even just hearing you say it sounds
far more caring,
less
right?
confronting than, yeah.
So I mean, and you're not meaning any other way. You can be caring. You can come from a good place and say you're angry, but what people hear is something that is aggressive.
That's a great point, man. Actually, I think I learned something.
And I'll teach you something else. Like after my car accident, I got into doing sports massage because I wanted to help people, right? So we know we're doing that kind of a timeline, but we're just jumping back and forth. And
so good, man.
But you know, I got into doing sports massage, and mostly I wanted a diploma after my name, right? Because I wanted to do a degree in sports science, but I didn't have the qualifications to get in, right? Because you needed a really good last year of high school. You know, it was called 7th form back then. I don't know what it's called in the year.
Yeah, it was 7th form when I left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think I was smart enough. And when I realized that I was smart after my car accident, then I was like, oh, okay,
sorry, just how did you realize you were smart after the car accident?
Because it was about.
Did I miss something, or?
Yeah, I guess so. yeah, I was, you know, the hierarchy of things, the totem pole of, you know, the thing at the top, like English and math, and,
Sure.
you know, and those sort of things, they were kind of reversed. That totem pole would turn on its head.
Okay.
You know, and it was all about the ability to communicate and the ability to fight for something.
So you realize at a certain point of time that the intelligence that society or culture was saying is what makes you intelligent was not the intelligence. How do I put this? It's not. There's a saying. It's not if you're smart. It's not. Hold on. It's not if you're smart. It's not why you're smart.
It's how you're smart.
It's how you're smart. That's the one.
Yeah.
It's how you're smart. So, like, you figured out that's what you're smart at. What was the turning point? Like, was it directly after the accident, or what clicked in your head to be like, oh, you know what? I'm not actually stupid. Well, I'm not good at these things, but I'm really good at these things, and I should be focusing on working on emotional intelligence, communication, etc., etc. What triggered you to wake up and realize that?
Yeah. So,
like, was it one moment? Was it just
yeah? It wasn't a moment like some things that have happened in my life. I was really depressed after my car accident because I lost everything, what I thought was everything, which was,
so your ego.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Well, being big and strong, about to lift heavy things, about to defend yourself and the people you love, was really important to me. You know, one of the most important things that happened to me when I was probably about 15 or 16 was, I thought we were getting chased by a gang in Otara at nighttime, and we got split apart. Right, we were both sprinting off, and we got separated. And I went to a McDonald's, right, to try to get some help. And the lady at the drive-through, she wouldn't ring the police. She goes, "Oh no, they're just having fun." I was like, they're trying to fucking stab us. They're gonna destroy us. They're trying to steal our money and our shoes and stuff. And she just wouldn't call the police. But anyway, it looked like my mate was getting beaten up, and it was, you know, quite dark. And they were just encircled, and they're yelling and screaming and stuff. And I was just like, okay, there's about 25, 30 of them or something.
Fuck, that's a lot of people, man.
And I just started walking towards them. And they were looking at me like, what the hell is this dude doing? And I was like, well, if my mate's in the middle, I can't. I've got to go there, right? So I started walking towards what I think was my mate in the middle, and I knew I was going to get wasted, right? And if you haven't experienced a beatdown before, it's a whole lot different than you think. Oh yeah, man, I'd go and stick up for my mate. No, it's completely different in real life. And so I walk, you know, this is real life, and I'm walking up to all these dudes that are just gonna try to hit me and kick me, and you know, and just bash me into the ground. But I had to do something because I thought my mate was in the middle of it. And I get like within a couple of meters away from them, and my mate runs out from out of the darkness, and he goes,
your mate.
And he goes, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, I started walking backwards really slowly, and they were, because all these dudes are looking at me like, "What the fuck?" Because I'm like looking like I'm staunching out 25 dudes, like, because I'm like, yeah, man, I'm gonna waste you dudes. And they're like looking at me like, what the hell? This guy's crazy. And then I started walking back slowly. And then I just turned around and sprint. And they were like all confused, like, what the hell was that? And I was like, and he goes, "Bro, I was just watching you walk towards those guys, and I needed to run out." I said, "Man, I thought you were in the middle." And it's like, you know, and anyway, they all came towards us, And this one little guy, he said, "Oh man, all my mates are gonna beat you up. You got to give us your shoes and all your money." And that's before the days of cell phones, so it's like you got to give us everything. And I said, "No, we're not gonna do that." And he's like, "Man, these guys are gonna murder you." And I was like, well, "Bring it on." And they all just started coming up. And there's this one guy, and it's like end of autumn, beginning of winter. This guy's with his shirt off and with a towel around him, like he's, Rocky Balboa or something. Big dude.
And
he was the lead.
All Islander dudes.
Yeah,
solid bones.
Big solid Samoan guy.
Oof.
With his shirt off when it's fucking pretty cold outside.
They got hard heads, bro. My mate Samoan, bro, he's got a solid ass head.
You hit the man, it's like a bowling ball covered with a little bit of foam.
No,
you just gotta crack
for real.
You're gonna crack your hand open. And so yeah, I was like, man, and I said to my mate, I was like, bro, I am gonna try to protect you as much as I can, but what we need to do is if one of us is on the ground, try to get away from people that you're fighting with and get one of us up, right? I said, but if I'm up, if I'm standing up, man, then I'm good, right? I said, but we gotta look after each other, we gotta fight this smart for fighting this number of guys. So and my mates go, "Get bro, yeah, fuck it, let's do it."
How big is your mate?
Us.
Cause you're what? You're 15. How big are you at the time?
About 100 kilos, I guess.
Already.
And
and your mate?
About 65 as well. He was a little ginger fella. And I was like, okay. Yeah. So they were talking about it. They both, all of them were talking, and they're like, they thinking, man, these two white guys are crazy. And it's like, okay. And so they start walking up to us like, this is it. I was like, bro, this is it. And my mum turns up to pick us up.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and she drives right in the middle of the gang and us, and she's like, "Hey guys, how did the night go?" Because we were at some event, and we hop in the car, and this guy, the big gang leader, was right in the window like this to her, but she's facing this way, facing the other way, going, "Oh, how was the night?" I said, "Just go, just go." And we just drive off.
Are these like adults? An adult gang?
Nah, they're a kid gang.
Like kid gang, okay.
Yeah. So they were between the ages of 10 and 16 or something like that. And we were like 15 or 16. So
that's crazy,
man. Yeah. But, having that, knowing that I would have walked into that environment to save my friend, that was like, man, I'm that guy that's gonna walk in there and no matter what, try to save my friend. I'm that sort of person, and that really, even though it was real fucking dangerous and real stupid, that was like, okay, I'm that guy that will have his friends back.
Yeah,
and I knew 100%. I didn't have to get into a fight, but I put myself into that situation, put myself in danger to save a friend. And after my car accident, I couldn't do that anymore.
Yeah, true.
Right, the only thing I had going for me,
I understand that.
Even if I was a great fighter, better than what I was, better than the mediocre fighter I was. People would say I was good, but yeah, it doesn't matter about the skill level and how big and muscly I was and how much I could lift. The ability to push yourself and go into that situation to save a friend.
To have that bravery and that confidence, like, because now that you said the story and linked it back, and now I understand, because at 15, like, that's a special personality trait. And there's not many people at 15, especially white dudes, let's be real, that are going to stand up with another small white dude against a gang of 30 Islander dudes.
Yeah.
Like, if someone came to me and was like, oh, like, this is a scenario, this happened, and these two white guys stood up to this whole gang. I went, fuck, there ain't no white guys standing up to a bunch of islanders. Like, that's a special trait, man. And
yeah,
to have that like personality trait like linked to like you as like your physicality, and like your leg gets messed up, now you don't have the confidence in that trait anymore.
Yeah,
you know, it's almost like I don't know, man. It's like your guy, your job is tasting steaks or something, and half your tongue gets cut off.
Yeah,
you're not gonna be I don't know, it gets damaged or burnt. You know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna have that same confidence. You're like, man, quarter of my taste buds are gone. Like, how am I gonna do my job at being a steak taster?
Yeah, oh man, I like how your brain works, bro. A taste taker.
Taste taker.
Yeah.
Actually, I've been a bit of a connoisseur lately of steaks.
Okay. So. Yes, yeah. So after the car accident, that was everything was taken away from me. Everything that I gained, that was good. I thought was good for me.
What was the moment when?
Well, I
came back?
I got ultra depressed, and I just wanted to die. But I said to myself, I want to die, but I don't have the balls to be able to do it myself.
And how old were you?
18.
Fuck.
It's like, man, if I could just push a button, and I could just like imagine this red button, and I just slam it, and then that'll be it. I'd die. So I'd wish every day. I would wish every day I could turn back time, or that there would just be a button I could push just to end in my life. And that's why I say that depression is worse than cancer.
Dude, and you know, I agree with you, because like it was only last year I went through my worst depression.
Yeah.
And like you said earlier, when I do something, I go 100. Like, I'm a person, like, if I'm going to do something, I'll just, like, I'll do it. Yeah. You know what I mean? And when I was in a real bad state of mind, I got closer and closer and closer to the idea of, like, I was imagining, like, how I was going to plan to do it. You know what I mean? Like, that's fucked up.
Yep.
I'm happy I pulled myself out of that shit. But I was actually reading, this links back to what you're talking about, depression. Like, I was reading a book. I don't know if it was before, after, or it was during. I was going, like, while I was going through this depression or whatever. I was reading a book about. It was called "Raising Girls in the 21st Century." It's written by Steve Biddulph, who's some psychologist from Tasmania, something, and he was talking about babies and how, like, just babies in general, and how babies can become depressed. Yeah. And I was like, fuck, it's a baby. It doesn't have any problems. You know what I mean? Like, how's a baby going to get depressed? And he went on to explain how depression, it's actually a feature of being a human being. It's a, how to say it? It's not a bug. It's a feature. It's something that we have the capability of, everyone. Yeah. And he explained that when a baby, like, you know, when you put a baby down and they cry, they go nuts, right? There's only a certain amount of time that they're gonna cry, because, like, let's say, for example, the limit is for this particular baby is 3 minutes. This baby knows, okay, I'm gonna cry for about 3 minutes, and in that time I'm gonna be picked up by my parents. Yeah. If it's not picked up, it's got to stop crying and has to get depressed. Yeah. So that, oh shit, my parents could be beaten up. I might be alone. There could be a predator out there. Like, I might get eaten by something else. This is instinctual. You know, they're not thinking. It's just part of being a human. Like, it's like, okay, be quiet now because something's going wrong. Like, my best chance is now for my parents to just come find me. And then he went on to explain further that depression as an adult, as a hunter-gatherer, and, like, living in the wild as humans are meant to be, we got depressed when the weather was shit and we couldn't go outside and hunt and gather food. And the reason we got depressed was to conserve energy. So everyone would be like, fuck, we can't use our energy today to, like, live and get food. Let's all just lie down on this cave and be depressed and, like, save our energy. And that's what depression is actually for, to save energy. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's for that.
I haven't heard of that, but that's interesting.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah.
Like, because, you know, you're thinking, like, and it doesn't translate well to our modern life. Like, that's not going to happen to us because we have cars and shelter and food. Like,
and Netflix.
Like, we like, all these things, like, we're going to get it all the time. So, and obviously, if you're a hunter-gatherer, like, you're going to be stressed about that because you need food to live. And it's part of the stress that initiates the depression. Like, fuck, man, we need some food. We need to gather water, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Right? Where now we're getting stressed for stupid ass shit. I know what...
You don't have the latest iPhone.
Don't have the latest iPhone. They ran out of caramello chocolates at Countdown or some shit. Like, we're getting stressed for stupid shit, and because our tolerance of stress is so low, we're triggering depression with stupid shit. Like, we're triggering it.
I only got 12 likes on my Instagram post.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill myself.
I'm gonna kill myself now.
Yeah. Because
Like,
my friend, he posted the same photo, and he got like 111.
yeah, that's crazy. And
Yeah.
and I agree with you, man. Like, because that shit will stay with you, man, and it's gonna no, maybe you could say inhibit or like debilitate you mentally to like actually do shit in life, you know. And I don't know if you've ever heard this from, you heard about Rollo Tomasi?
No.
He's a guy. He studies intersexual dynamics, like between like men and women, sexual marketplace, stuff like that. And he was like saying, like, you know, if you don't kill the beta will kill you.
Yeah.
Like, you know, not to say like there's, oh, this guy's an alpha male, this guy's a beta male. It's just, they're just terms to attach characteristics to of how someone would act. You know, it's not like, oh, he's alpha, he's the best, blah blah. It's like, nah, if you're an alpha male or a masculine, healthy male, positive male, you have this characteristics.
Yeah.
If you're a beta male and etc., you're gonna get depressed, blah blah, do this shit. So you kill the beta before the beta kills you. Like, that's what it is, man. Everyone's got it inside you. You gotta kill that shit.
Well, you asked me about what changed.
Yeah, actually, yeah. What was that?
The because I was every single day was the same. I was in bed. I couldn't get up. I wasn't allowed to touch my foot on the ground. So I was just wasting away. And you know, I got down to the frame I am now, which is a big frame. Got down to mid-60s.
Oh shit, bro, that's crazy, man.
Yeah. And I didn't want to look in the mirror, right? I brushed my teeth without looking in the mirror.
You would have been a skeleton, bro.
You know, this is the same thing for people who don't want to look in the mirror. People are like, who are obese, who purposely don't even look at their reflection when they're walking past shops.
It's like the same psychological
Just
issue.
they know what they. So I was.
Is there a name for that?
There must be, but how horrible it must be to be obese and not even purposely looking the other way from their own reflection. You know, knowing that everybody can see your problem, rather than
that's
you know,
pretty horrible.
like, people give obese people a hard time, but man, the hard time they give themselves. This is what I've learned through, you know, training people and helping people lose weight, is that, man, you don't give people, fat people or obese people, a hard time, man. They're giving themselves a hard time as it is. They don't need any extra. They know they need to lose weight. You insulting them was trying to make a joke.
Adding fuel to the fire.
It's not going to help. But anyway, so every single day I wanted to hit this red button, this imaginary button to kill myself, or imagine that I could turn back time and imagine what life would be like if it wasn't if I didn't have that car accident. You know, and just the whole trauma from the accident and you know, no one understanding and the self-blame if I
didn't drive out.
Yeah, or did I it wasn't that dark, I could have seen that car. Was I just being stupid, or was I trying to look at the rearview mirror to see my girlfriend's friend, you know? Like, I don't know. You know, I was just, everything I was going through, and just like, life isn't, I'm not happy. And then I said to myself, I started getting really angry at some point. After depression, I was just like, you know what? I'm talking about multiple personalities of for myself.
Just like talking to different personalities within your head, talking to themselves.
But I'd say it out loud.
It's like that kids movie. Seen that kids movie?
If you a bit more specific, man.
It's I forgot. I think it's called Happy or some shit. It's a movie about a girl who's going through a hard time, and they're like zoom in her head.
Oh,
like, you know, like in the kid's head, like she's moved and she left all her friends behind. And she's upset about it and arguing with her parents. And inside her head, there's like a control panel, and there's like sad, happy, angry, jealous, like all at the control panel.
Yeah.
And like when she's like getting angry and shit, it's like that angry personalities like pushed everyone off the panel, like fucking up the buttons and shit. Like, yeah, fuck out of here. Like, he's like going all crazy and stuff, and like it's just this mishmash of, you know, going back and forth and trying to explain to kids that different personalities within emotions. So
my two dominant personalities, which was the angry one and the one who wanted to die. And I was just like, well, man, you don't have the fucking balls to kill yourself, right? So you can think about killing yourself every fucking day, but I'm getting real pissed off for that. You know, this is bullshit. Fucking do it if you're gonna do it. Otherwise, let me take over and I'll fucking, you know, get something done. Get something going.
Dude, is this why you became an actor as well? Is that linked to that?
No. I just wanted to be able to do something and be good at it.
Okay.
And
because people who act like are real good at like personality.
Well, that's what I found is that I became a good actor because of all the emotions that I could.
You naturally had the like. How would you put it?
I had real easy access to the emotion because I'd lived through so much, and I'd fought for things that I could give over to a given scenario, right?
Like you could let happy emotion take control for half an hour. You could let angry or sad take control for a certain amount of time without other ones coming in and
do it truthfully.
Sure, yeah,
right?
Authentically.
Because it's about there's a difference between pretending and imagining. All right, if you're really unhappy and you come home and you don't want your partner to know, then you pretend that you're happy. Oh no, everything's fine, babe. You know, you pretend. But if you sit in the car before you walk through that door and imagine something that makes you happy, right? If you imagine that you're happy, then through imagination you become happy, right?
Like harnessing the emotion from the imagination.
Yeah. Because imagination is real powerful. Pretending is just lying.
Sure.
Right? It's
a great way to put it.
You know, if you live your life pretending, then you know.